Okay, I stand to report a series of troubling actions that undermine the integrity of the Charter Commission, compromise public trust, raise serious concerns about fairness, transparency, equity in the reform process. For several months, I have raised concerns that the Commission staff had been coordinating with the Mayor's office in ways that compromise the Commission's independence. These concerns are no longer speculative. Staff recently admitted that they cannot perform their duties without copying the Mayor's office. This admission raises serious questions regarding improper ex parte communications, political interference, and what is intended to be an independent charter process. Even more disturbing is the pattern of discriminatory treatment towards Black and Asian Pacific-led organizations. At nearly every juncture, when these organizations attempted to provide input, they were treated differently from other stakeholders. They have been last to be engaged, their proposals have been unilaterally dismissed without deliberation, and their perspectives have been afforded.
So, Speaker, your time has expired. And Speaker, if you can wait over at the side, yeah, if you wait over at the side, yes, please, just really quick. So next speaker.
I just want to acknowledge that this is
okay. So understood, Speaker. We need you to vacate the podium so we can move on to the next speaker.
My name is Paloma Bustos, and I'm with the Sunita Jain Anti-Trafficking Initiative at Loyola Law School. Our research and report on FIFA and the Olympic Games calls on both FIFA and LA28 to each set aside about $3 million from their own budgets to prevent trafficking and exploitation, given the well-documented increase in trafficking and labor exploitation risk associated with mega sporting events. This funding will support worker outreach, legal services, coordination across service providers, and independent monitoring to prevent exploitation before it happens. With the World Cup less than 6 months away, the city has the support and the responsibility to move these protections forward now. I also want to emphasize that these recommendations from our report you are hearing today are not coming from one organization alone. Our report and recommendations are supported by 10 state legislators and 42 organizations across the city and county and state of California, including legal service providers, worker advocates, survivor-led organizations, public health partners, and community groups. I actually have your offices should have received a copy of the report, but I actually have copies of here with me that I will provide to your staff. Thank you.
Hi there. Owen Richard Connolly here. I'm going to be making a general comment.
Okay, so you have 1 minute. Go ahead.
Got it. Good morning, everybody. Los Angeles deserves a city hall defined by the highest standards of integrity, free from ethical lapses, self-dealing, and any appearance of corruption. We need stronger ethics rules, full transparency on potential conflicts of interests, independent oversight, and real accountability for everyone involved in city government, no exception. Recent scandals and ongoing concerns about the handling of public contracts, funds, and influence in major initiatives have eroded public trust. These issues highlight the urgent need for reforms to prevent conflicts, ensure decisions serve the public interest, and restore confidence in our institutions. As a resident, I propose enforcing and expanding transparency requirements for all officials and affiliated entities. I also want to take this time, I see that Olympic flag over there. I call on all appropriate authorities to urge Casey Wasserman to step down from leading the LA 2028 Olympics due to his association with Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell. Thank you.
Next speaker. Good morning, Mr. Herman. You have 1 minute for the item. That's item 1, and 1 minute for general. Go ahead.
Yeah, everybody. Yeah. Look at that. I'm being contested here because Uncle Tom, Larry Harry Dog up there, knows that the appeals and objections for this lien on the property at 3107 South Dalton Avenue. Yeah, look at the resistance. Look at the dissent. Look at the opposed opposition that I bring to this country. That this fucking shit on liens is unconstitutional, and you have every motherfucking right to come here and protest. Otherwise, you're a dumb motherfucker. You got to protest. You got to stop this
Mr. Herman, this is your only warning. You need to speak to the
Sir,
item
I'm
specifically, or you can move to general public comment if you'd like to speak to liens generally.
42 SC 1983.
General public comment, you have 1 minute.
Everybody. Let me read into the record the action of the case 220 CV 02291, Doc Keys for the record, granted by the Federal Court of David O. Carter and that of Belial A. Asaili and Nathan Hockman, who appeared in court this past Wednesday smoking scan. Why is that? Why were they there? Because these closed sessions, unconstitutional violations of the law, everybody, was this. Rules, item number 24 rules. LA City Brown Act, each member shall attend all regular and special meetings except for illness, unless a leave of absence has been granted. Why has that illegal Price been doing these wrongs? Majority vote, a regular meeting at which quorum is present. Fuck you, Grove.
Speaker, your time has expired. And for members of the public who are here or listening via YouTube, thank you for your patience. Just to be clear, when you're speaking to the agenda items, it does need to be connected to the specific item. Obviously, if people would like to speak to the departments that are underlying the actual item itself, you can always do so during general. Good morning, Speaker. Which items would you like to speak to?
General comment.
Okay, so you have 1 minute. Go ahead.
There's been 9 deaths in the past 5 weeks at Men's Central Jail. It needs to be closed down. It fucking needs to be closed down. To continue, in the words of Armando Herman, quote, if you don't stir things up, you become a small, faint voice, end quote. We find this to be an honest evaluation. Most of the representatives are not paying attention during public comment. This is public time, not email time. There is a reason for the bold language. The forefathers of this country saw a reason for the bold language and wrote it into the highest law of this land. It's first on the list.
Next.
My name is Eric. I'm a photographer who's been documenting LA's response to ICE since June. For the third time, I'm here to talk about what actually happened at the student walkout last week. Councilmember Jurado, I was glad to hear you acknowledge the students, but truly supporting them means being honest about what happened to them. The LAPD was lined up hours early to prevent them from getting anywhere near the MDC. I watched as they drove motorcycles around behind the kids to spook them, charged them by the dozens with batons out, shot a less lethal into the crowd of teenagers, and more. They busted the lip of an adult protester and batoned the hand of a journalist right in front of the kids. I watched those kids get radicalized in real time, and then on Tuesday, I watched Assistant Chief Harrelson tell the police commission they did not move to crowd control techniques that day. That is a lie. Also, the LAUSD fired a teacher named Ricardo Lopez for trying to help the kids, so it's wild to bring a board member here to praise them for walking out. He should be reinstated. I appreciate you saying the council needs to work together and not be in their silos. I was going to address the rest of my comment to Councilmember Rodriguez, but she is not here, so thank you.
Which items? I assume
Item number 1, please, and general public comment. It's for the lien, right?
you have 1 minute for, yes, it's a REAP item related to the property located at 3107 South Dalton Avenue. So you have 1 minute for the item and 1 minute for general. Go ahead.
Thank you. So we have another nuisance abatement. The city loves to shake down the regular folk when they're broke, when both the regular folk and the city is broke. The real nuisance is the city. Whenever they run into the red because they don't know how to manage our money, they start putting fees and enforcing things that allegedly mean something to them, but they don't unless they need money. It's pretty ridiculous. I don't know the property owner of that property. He or she or they could be a dick for all I know. Maybe they deserve it. Who knows? I just know that the only reason why they're issuing this is because the city needs to basically flip every sofa cushion for coins that they can, including if it's your sofa cushion at home. It's pretty ridiculous that the Charter Commission wasn't notified that the deputy director is a former staff member for Nuri Martinez
So
while she was
move you to general public comment. You have 1 minute.
While she was outed during the whole Fed tape situation, which is allegedly why the Charter Commission started. You guys love activists that are in the past. You don't like activists that are alive today or that are still doing their good work. Isabel Jurado was the fuck the police candidate, and now she says nothing when the kids out there are being hit with rubber bullets and being tear gassed. Eunice's allegedly the tenant candidate, but she tried to get the residents of Hillside Villa to sign something that they couldn't talk shit about their landlord to each other. And she also was a part of getting their fees. I think it was like $15 million like waived and shit and giving them cash. Pretty crazy. It's wild. Everything is a mess. You guys aren't going to protect us. And honestly, you should be scared. This all goes on because the government's not afraid of the people. And they're clearly not afraid of God either. If they're afraid of either or, they would change their whole behavior. I forgot what I was going to say. LA Valley Gun Club.
Next speaker.
Good morning, council members. I'm speaking on behalf of the Sunita Jain Anti-Trafficking Initiative at Loyola Law School. As Los Angeles prepares for the 2026 World Cup and the 2028 Olympic Games, we must address the real trafficking risks tied to major sporting events, especially labor trafficking. We urge 4 immediate actions. First, publicly release the draft human rights action plans for meaningful community and survivor review. Second, schedule full council review of the FIFA Human Rights Report and convene the ad hoc Olympic Committee in February to review the LA28 plan. Third, require FIFA and LA28 to fully fund these plans because unfunded plans do not protect workers. Finally, ensure city agencies prioritize labor enforcement and public health coordination before and during events. The greatest risk is labor trafficking. Construction, hospitality, and service work rely heavily on migrant labor, where abuses often occur during recruitment before enforcement ever begins.
Good morning. What would you like to speak to?
Good morning, sir. Item 4, which is about abatement, and then public comment, sir.
Okay, so item 4 is not open for public comment, but you can speak to it during general if you'd like. The only item that's open is item number 1.
Okay, is that abatement? Yes.
It's a REAP item, so if you want.
Whatever. Let's go on. Abatement, I just looked it up. It has the lessening of something. And, in Porter Ranch over at the Burnson Park, there's graffiti all over, and it breaks my heart that it started on Reseda,
Okay,
and
can we
it's going
pause
all
this
the way
time
down.
really quick?
Anyway, let's
So-
go on to public comment.
Okay, you have 1 minute. Go ahead.
I had a dream. Did I wake up this morning that that ICE is not going to be funded? Please, somebody say yes. I asked a few people. Nobody could give me an answer. Hopefully that's true, which means that in Van Nuys, we're not going to have to look at ICE agents at the federal building. So somebody please tell me that's true. I was down here today because I need to pick up some whistles because we're ready. I don't care what we have to do, but anybody that stands by and watches this, and I have a message for my probably the best chief that we've ever had. Chief McDonald, yes, stand with your people, with your officers, but please protect the protesters who are standing up for me, who stood up for people like me in the past. Please, you can do great things by supporting us and not ICE. Thank you.
Good morning. What would you like to speak to?
Just general comment.
Okay, you have 1 minute. Go ahead.
So for let's see, it's Imelda here. So let's see, that's an interesting statement. I think I would prefer streetlights, not looking at the stars. That's a real interesting opinion to say, oh yeah, I want to give all the money for streetlights to the LAPD. Oh, well, just look at the stars. I guess the stars will guide us and try to keep us from getting injured. Wow. So, fuck Jim McDonnell. Jim McDonnell should be fired. You had the power to do it, and for some reason, council members like Ulysses Hernandez, who's currently chatting it up with City Staffer B, and taking bribes in Las Vegas. That's who Ulysses Hernandez hangs out with, instead of working to get Jim McDonnell fired. Really impressive.
Good morning. Speaker, Mr. Segarra-Bollinger, this is your first and only formal warning. Please do not disrupt this meeting. We're moving on to the next speaker. Good morning.
Hello.
Which items would you like to speak
For
to?
general comment.
Okay, so you have 1 minute. Go ahead.
Good morning, council members. My name is Fabiana Fuentes, a law student representing the Sunita Jain Anti-Trafficking Initiative at Loyola Law School. I am addressing Los Angeles preparations for the 2026 FIFA World Cup and the 2028 Olympic Games. While the council is adopting recommendations from the ad hoc committee on the 2028 Olympic and Paralympic Games, LA28 has yet to schedule a meeting to discuss its required human rights plans due on December 31st, 2026. At the same meeting, requests for $300,000 in independent anti-trafficking audits of LA28 contracts were deferred until the human rights plan discussion protections that should already be a part of the substantially plan. Council members also raised concerns about security for residents and immigrants amid recent ICE enforcement actions. These protections cannot wait. Our recommendations are negotiating an MOU among ICE, LA28, FIFA, and the city to prohibit immigration informants connected to the games, requiring LA28 and FIFA to provide $250,000 for legal monitoring to protect communities from ICE enforcement. Thank you.